It's Saturday morning. You know what I'm doing, running errands. And I'm watching people work in their yards, and I'm like getting inspired, even though I kind of don't want to, because there's also pollen out here, y'all. It is when we talk about that in Atlanta, it is serious, like serious, serious. It's literally raining pollen right now on on everything. Okay, so with that, I did not have my morning ginger tea, which I should have, but uh, I got some things to do. Definitely, I got a performance today, this afternoon, so I definitely will be having some tea later. But right now, yeah, I'm running errands and I'll be meal prepping and cooking for me and my brother. And lately this week, I had been thinking or working on the idea of protein and amino acids. And I'm just going to tell you my background. Like, listen, I have no background, seriously. And I'm saying this because I don't want people to feel like they have to have some kind of degree to be able to understand some of this stuff. Um, you just have to be a human or somebody who eats food, okay? And I think we're all qualified. Okay, with that being said, the importance of protein, like we always talk about, like, oh, this is a misconception, of course. So we all talk about how, oh, you got to have a meat in your meal, and especially in the South, that is like one of those things we talk about all the time, like, oh, a meat and three sides, that kind of thing. And I kind of want people to start opening up their minds a little bit more about that. Now, protein is important. Don't get me wrong. It really is important. It's so important that it makes the difference in somebody's wellness, quite honestly. That's why they have those adult nutrition drinks, like for older people or people who have been ill. They, drink them, consume them, and then you have the athletes that also have them. And that's kind of, I guess, I don't know, the way that I'll say this. Okay, so there are more protein drinks out there versus carbohydrate drinks, but there are carbohydrate drinks. It's called sugar, like, basically. But what I'm saying is, for optimal nutrition and wellness, protein is important. But I think we're also going about it in a kind of way. So, yes, eat protein, but most people think meat, right? Think animal flesh. And I want you to think about what animal flesh that people do eat on average. So it's like beef, pork, chicken, seafood, right? Of all those animals, I grew up on a farm. I already know the answer to this, but let's just take beef, for example. Beef is a source of protein for people. What does beef eat? Does beef eat other beef? Does beef eat chicken? Does beef eat seafood? No, it doesn't. Beef eats plants. Okay? Now, I'm slowly coming off of pork. Like, not slowly. I think at this time I'm like, very hesitant to eat anything that's pork. But there's reasons why, certain religions shun pork, because pigs and hogs, they are omnivores, for one, and they are scavengers, I guess, like food-wise. They'll eat anything, like anything. They'll eat their own, like, kind, like they're carnivores. Like, no, wait, cannibals, sorry. They're carnivores and cannibals. They'll eat anything. That's kind of why some religions say swine is impure. Okay? All right. Of course, Atlanta has fallen trees right now, so we have to drive through this part, so I have to find a different way back home. Driving around construction, we got power lines down because the tree has fallen. Oh gosh. Okay, yeah, I don't want to come back this way. Yikes. Oh my gosh, it's kind of scary, y'all. Yeah, Atlanta, you gotta love it. All right, so yeah, and that's the reason why um, some religions do not, um, sanction the eating of pork. And because also, well, they might not have known this, but pork also contain, like, they can easily, like, hold parasites in its muscle. Like, and so a lot of times people can get poisoned with pork. Ooh, hi, Lloyd. Hi, Lloyd. It's been a while. Yeah, grass and water, veg, you know? And let's, again, think of this where beef eats plants and grains and water. And they, once they, become big and strong and 1,000 pounds, because again, my family grew up having cattle, thousands of pounds and things like that, and ready to go to the slaughterhouse, that kind of thing. They're big, they're thick, they're not overweight, they're not bloated. They are lean muscle, honey. Okay? And people don't also underestimate the strength of a cow or a bull. They knock down fences. They can jump over fences. Seriously. They can mess up a bobcat, honey. Like, not very many predators in the United States for cows except for wolves. And even then, they gotta kill them in packs, though. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, the strength of an ox is undeniable. Undeniable. And all they eat is grass. And now the question is, okay, so if grass and plants and grains and water, is that all they eat, then what's so special about plants and grass and water? It has the minerals, honey. The minerals. And where do you think the minerals come from? The ground. Okay? Sorry, I was talking too fast. All right. Other than humans actually putting minerals on your food, as in the form of salts and spices, we need minerals in our body. And most times, not all the time though, I'm not a nutritionist. Remember what I'm saying here. Most times, you're not going to find those minerals in meat. Most times you will, but not all the time. So things like, I don't want to name names because I don't want to be like, oh no, like, I don't want to tell y'all the wrong things. But anyway, what I'm saying is that you can get all of the minerals that you can get from plants. Eating plants. I'm not saying don't eat meat, but I think we need to be leaning more into the original source of the minerals that the cattle eat and the chickens when they don't make them eat themselves. So yeah, chickens eat grubs. Grubs eat minerals. See, do you see what I'm saying? So if we get closer to the original source of the minerals, then our bodies can produce its own proteins through amino acid and amino acids. But then there are some amino acids that we don't consume on our own. Those are the things I've been researching. Yeah. So from plants, you're right, Lloyd. So like some of the things, unfortunately, not indigenous to the United States, like coconut. That's a really wonderful source of magnesium and minerals. There are other sources too of plants, like the leafy greens. We've got spinach, which I try to offer my brother spinach, even though he claimed he wanted it, but he wants the stuff in the can. So this is the struggle presentation versus the healthy presentation. So most of us who grew up in the United States, looking like me, we're used to eating stuff out of a can. because that's all that they would give us, basically, or we could afford, unless you grew up on a farm. Okay. So he's used to eating canned spinach. Honey, once I went fresh, I'm never going back. So I tried to offer him fresh spinach, and he's like, oh, so yeah, there's that. So the same as with me with green beans. I'm like, ugh, I thought I hated green beans until this week. Okay? Because I got them fresh and I steamed them and they were amazing. So yeah. So those leafy greens, they are the thing. Okay? And fruits. I know, a lot of people talk about the GMOs and whatnot, but sometimes we got to pick a struggle right now. And yeah, I'm not a fan of the GMOs either. But again, we got to pick a struggle sometimes. And other than trying to supplement, and don't let people tell you about, oh, don't take vitamins because it's just like expensive pee. Like, speak for yourself. I don't care. I want my pee to be all kinds of yellow and orange. I don't care. Okay. Yeah. Pick a struggle. It's like somebody actually told me, like, well, the reason why I still eat like from box or whatever is because of GMOs. They spray the chemicals on the vegetables. I'm like, okay, yeah, I know. But you still get your fiber. Okay, you're not getting real fiber from the box. You're getting mush, you're getting paste. Like once it's processed, it's basically dressed up paste, y'all. It's gumming up your system. Then you can't go to the bathroom. And then all those toxins are recycling into your body. And then you end up bloated. You know? It's a plant. It's a plant. See, the point I'm trying to make is a plant. And you're gumming up your system if you're eating so much processed food and you're not releasing it, as in going to the bathroom every day or twice a day, like me, and I'm talking about a BM, then all of that is going back into your system. It's going back into your system. So I'm just saying, you got to start really thinking about, like, why am I eating hamburger helper? Yeah, I'm throwing them under the bus. Why am I eating, I don't know, anything out of a box kind of a thing? Why am I giving my child Cheerios and stuff? That's basically glorified paste with sugar on it. Okay? Um, Something to think about. So when you're in the store, which I'm about to go into right now, and you go get certain flour, like I have to, I'm doing this for the sake of my brother. At least I can kind of start seeing more of the things that he's eating and helping him. Like he seems to be doing okay. I called him this morning on the phone. He's out walking. He sounds a little more clear than yesterday. Yesterday, I think he went to a food bank, a food pantry, and got a bunch of garbage again. And then he ended up not being well. Okay, I'm gonna just be honest. So, but he bounced back. So I got to load him up with some more protein, all kinds of protein. Okay, healthy protein, and that includes vegetables and fruits, and yeah, some meats. Okay, not packaged garbage. All right, so yeah, let me go. I'll talk more about amino acids. There's so many of them, though. So many of them. And I feel like this week, once I started getting like scratching the surface of it, it's let's see, what they call essential amino acids and non-essential. But I feel like even the non-essentials are the ones that are helping people that are not being talked about enough. And there are other things to consider, because this week I'm also helping him with his liver health. Um, in the last couple of days, I've started giving him, like, I'm seeping some detox tea, which I'm not going to give him pure because I know that's going to make him run to the bathroom. But I'm seeping it like sun tea right now. And it's, um, I know it has dandelion root in it. I'm gonna add milk thistle, and I use milk thistle every day. And it has oh, what is that other herb? I cannot think of it right now, but I feel like even if he's eating bad food, if he releases it faster, that's all the more help that he needs, right? So even if you're eating garbage all the time, you can at least get it out of your system faster. Okay, that's my theory. So we'll see how that goes. Like I said, I can't give it to him pure. I don't plan on giving it to him pure. That's one of my bandmates right now texting. So yeah, I got a busy day today, y'all. All right, with that I say, take care. Peace.